we have a little video that we were sent by our spiritual advisor. Bhante Sujato is the spiritual advisor of this monastery, and he is a monk that is associated with Ajahn Brahm's monastery in Australia. And so some people here know him because he was here and gave a retreat, I think 2 or 3 years ago. And so he sent us a little video because he's also very happy that this monastery is opening. And he actually wanted to be here live and talk to us now. But unfortunately, their monastery also has Katina Day today. So there are a few hundred people in their monastery. And he didn't have the time to be here on screen for us. So they sent us a video, and it's only 5 minutes. They're just giving us a little greeting and do some chanting for us.
Hey everyone, I'm Bhante Sujato. And I'm here with Ayya and Brahmali, and we're here to celebrate and say congratulations for completion of the building at Tilorien. And we've all been following the progress there and been very delighted and thrilled to see the work that's been done by the Sangha there, Venerable Vimalañāṇī and Kathrin, and also of course by Danny, who's given so much for the project. So for all of you who have contributed and who've volunteered and supported the project, and all of you who are new to the project, we just want to say sadhu and congratulations, and we hope that everything will be successful, and that the monastery will be a beautiful place for spiritual practice in the future. So now, to express our gratitude, I should mention also that Ajahn Brahm asked me to say that he wanted to give you his blessings as well, but he's at a retreat at the moment. So we will now, to express our gratitude and to celebrate our joy with your achievement, we wanted to chant the Metta Sutta for you. Karaniyam takusalena yantam santam padang abhisame chasako uju chasuju chasuvacho chasamuju anatimani santu sako chasubharo chahapakicho chasalamukavūti santindriyo chamipako chahapagamho kulesu amanukido nachakudan samachare kinchiyena vinyupare upavadeyam sukhino vahe Sukhitata yeke chitana bhuta hitasava kavarava amavasesa vidava ye mahantava majimara saka amukatula ditava ye chadika ye chadure vasanti avidure Bhutava samave siva save sata bhavantu sukhitata naparo paramikube tanati manye takata chinam kinchibaya rosama patilsa samya nanya nanya sadhu kamiche yamata Yataniyam Buddha Ayusa Eka Buddha Manurake Kevam Isaba Bhute Sumana Sambhavaye Aparimana Metam Chasaba Lokasmi Mana Sambhavaye Aparimana Buddha Tilorien Sambhava Averam Nasapatam Tirtam Sharam Visinova Sayanova Yavatas Savigatamido Ekam Satim Aditeya Brahma Meta Viharam Nidamaruditin Chanupagam Masi
This was the Metta Sutta. It is a sutta about spreading goodwill to everybody, and, about cultivating a mind of love and compassion for all beings in the world. Okay, now I would like to show some pictures of our monastery and our building project. And some of you have seen those pictures already. I think Jürgen, who's there at the door, has seen those pictures 3 weeks ago. So, well, hopefully you can still enjoy them anyway. If you have any questions at any time, you can just ask your question. If you don't want to ask in English, you can also ask in French or German or in Dutch if you have to. Okay, so well, the building of this monastery was started exactly 1 year ago, the last week of October last year. They dug the first hole. But the idea the wish to have a monastery here has been around for a long time. And a few years ago, in 2015, a few people came together and they founded an association. In Belgium it's called an ASBL, which is an association without commercial aims. So just to facilitate the building of this monastery. And they started off by organizing retreats, so inviting Buddhist teachers to come here, and so that interested Buddhists would come together and would be able to network and to practice Dhamma together. So that was in 2015, and we see here, this is Ayya Vimala here. She is a member also of this project. She is not here today because she's giving a retreat in Ireland. And we have Donny here. He is here today. And here is Anagarika Savamita. At that time she was not ordained yet. She was still called Maria. And they organize these kind of retreats. This is with a nun in the Tibetan tradition. Her name is Ayya Yeshi. She is from Australia, and she was here. Which year?
She in 2014. She was here for 2 weeks and gave different talks and retreats, short retreats in Germany and 1 weekend retreat in Belgium. And it was a really nice program.
So I think some people maybe have met her when she was here. And this is our retreat with Ajahn Brahm. Ajahn Brahm is here. And here's Ayya Vimala, and this is myself. And this is Anagarika Savamita, still as Maria then. And here, this is another German nun, Venerable Jampa Zödel. And some friends from the Buddhist community in Hamburg. I think everybody knows this. This is the location of our place. So we were hoping that we could start building last year. Actually, our plan was to start building last year in March. But unfortunately, it took a very, very long time to get the building permission. So our application was declined a few times. So the whole of last summer, we were waiting to start building, but we couldn't actually do anything. And we were just living here in this provisional monastery. So we started our monastery already. We had our website there, and so on, and we were practicing together, but we didn't actually have a building. So I lived in this tent last year and also this year, until September this year, and Ayya Vimala was living in this tree house in somebody's garden. And we did some Buddhist practices. One of the practices that Buddhist nuns and monks do is what is called an alms round. So we take our bowls and we go into the villages and we see if somebody wants to give us food. And in Asia that works really well. In Europe that is a bit difficult to do. So sometimes you get some food and sometimes you don't get food. So this is in Gouvy. Gouvy, I think the Belgian people know Gouvy. it's a small town close to the place where we had our provisional monastery, which was not here on this property. It was in somebody's garden. So we did a lot of monastic practices already last year before we had the building. And we also did some small building work. Here we were building our compost toilet because we were camping out there, so we had to have some sort of compost toilet. This was the first building project we did, and it was really cold and really difficult because it was, you can't see it on this picture because the quality is not good, but it was really snowing and pretty tough. So this is also Ayya Vimala here, and this is me wrapped up in like 100 layers. And this is also in our supporters' house. You can see this is us, the community working together, doing some office work. And we also support a website for early Buddhist texts. So Ayya Vimala is really good at all this computer coding, so she actually co-created that website. And the others, like the two of us, we also support that website. And that website has the early Buddhist texts in like 40 or 50 different languages. So all these texts need to be proofread, they all need to be coded, and they all need to be put on there. So that's something that volunteers do. The whole website is just run by mostly run by volunteers. And so that's what we were doing here in this picture. So, and then finally, the first thing happened on this property here. This property was completely overgrown with weeds and bushes and trees, similar to the property that is next to us there when you look out of the window, but it was even worse. So this digger came and, prepared the land so that the building company could come. And we also had a very large tree here on the property, down there where the garden is now. And you can, when you look out of that window, you can still see all the leftovers from that tree. And it had to be felled because it was standing in like a crooked way and it could have fallen on the house. So it had to be felled, and here we are chanting for all the beings that are being impacted by the felling of that large tree. And then a friend of ours came from Australia, and he is a professional woodworker, and he had a very large chainsaw, and he's the small friend in the large tree, but he somehow managed to cut the tree without killing himself. So yeah, that was kind of the first thing that happened here on the building. And this is also preparations for the building. This is when the electricity box was put here next to the street. So this was when this property actually got the electricity. And then this was the first time that we had volunteers on the property. This was last year in November, when they were planting the hedge that separates our property from the neighbors. And a few people who are here now also came back then and helped plant this hedge together. I think 4 or 5 people were here and did this. So this was done even before the real building projects, like the real construction of the house was underway.
The hole was already
well,
there.
The hole was there, but there was no kind of house or something. And then finally the building company started working end of October, and then very short time later there was the winter started, and everything was covered in 10 or 20 centimeters of snow. So the work had to be interrupted for quite a long time, and nothing happened for a few weeks or a few months, I don't quite remember. So this is what happened, as you can expect in winter, I think. And then finally they put in the foundations. This was a professional building company, not our workers, not our volunteers. So you can be quite safe here in this building, don't have to worry. This was all done professionally. And they also put up these structures. There's stone, and the basement is stone, and the rest is a wooden structure. And so we try to be as ecologically friendly in this building as we can. It's a low energy house. All the windows are triple glazed, and we're going to get solar panels, and we're going to reuse rainwater, and everything is really well insulated so that we have a minimal impact on the environment. And we try to be as ecologically friendly as we can. Yeah, here the roof was put on. That was also a big step, because when the roof is on, then it felt like we could almost move in. But yeah, that was, I think, maybe in February or March, something like that. So
March, April, end of March, beginning of April.
I think the roof was.
No, when I was there, when I took that picture before with the wooden structure, it was the 24th of March.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, it was a long time ago, and it felt like we could almost move in, but turned out that we couldn't quite move in yet. So this is this year, I think, around about in April. And because it was so cold in winter and our building wasn't finished, Vimala and I, we had to evacuate our provisional monastery, and we had to go overseas, and we both went to America. And then in April we came back to help with the building project, because everything that was done in the interior had been done by us and had to be done by the volunteers. So the electricity, the plumbing, the heating, all the walls, all the painting, everything that had to be done by us and by the volunteers. And that kind of started around April or May. So here you can see Ayya Vimala with her toy and a huge drill. She likes to do this kind of stuff. And she's also very good with all the electricity and technical kind of stuff. This is the two of us having a break, having our lunch break. And I think Samita put this picture in because we look funny and because we're eating, so she enjoys this picture. Anyway. So this is the view from the roof. At that time the scaffolding was still outside. On the building there was still the scaffolding, so we could climb on the roof and take these pictures. And you can still see the leftovers of the tree down here. And the beginnings of a small garden patch. So Dani is growing vegetables here now. And we had very good vegetables in that garden patch the whole summer. We could eat from there. And even that pumpkin soup that we had today, that was the last pumpkin we got out of the garden. Okay, so this is another view of the house. Looking more finished now. Oh, this is the first time we got Dhamma here. The first time somebody brought food here. One day we just arrived here and we found these two bags in front of our door, and somebody has written Dana on there. It's somewhere here, but you can't really see it. So for a long time we were wondering who brought this Dana here, and then finally we found out. And the person is here now. I don't know if they want to identify themselves. Okay. But yeah, that was the first time we got Dana here. That is me cutting the boards for the inner walls. But all the inner walls had to be open because we had to put the electricity wires in there. And then we had to close them ourselves. So this board here is actually here on that wall now. Behind. Yeah. So, yeah. And then these are the water pipes going from the kitchen. This is the kitchen where the sink is now to the bathroom. Vimala put those in. And then downstairs it still looked really, really terrible, but upstairs we could already finish everything, so we were already painting the walls, while downstairs it was still a huge mess. So upstairs was finished pretty quickly, and downstairs we're still not finished now. And then obviously, as in every building project, a lot of things go wrong. So then some minor accidents, and we all had to have a break and have a cup of tea. Yes, and here people are still working on the hedge that they had planted before. So this is Anagarika Sabamita trimming the hedge. And there was a lot of things done in the garden also, and that the garden was a huge amount of work, and people have planted many, many plants there. Made it really nice now. And our veggie patch is growing. Here you can see one of the pumpkins, I think, covered by a leaf. Well, some people really like this picture, I think. Yeah, this is me on the thing. This is when we finished the outside works. When the whole, because like from the building there were all these mountains of dirt that had to be leveled, and you know the garden had to be shaped properly. But actually, that was an external firm who did that, and this is just a picture that we took of mine. So we didn't do that ourselves, actually. And after that was done, all the ground had to be compacted so that the rain doesn't wash it away. So Danny found this ingenious method to compact the ground. You just take some boards and you tie it to your shoe, and then you walk around. So, but it seems to have worked because the earth is still there. And then this was when all the cables and all the pipes had been put in downstairs. Then there were 2 more layers of floor that are put in there. The one is the PU foam, and the other one is the screed floor. In French it is called chap. We always just call it chap. In English I think it's called screed floor. But this is the first layer. This is the PU foam. So everything is covered in a lot of foam, and there was a lot of toxic gas. And the company who did that, they had to wear this full body armor, everything covered. And then after that, it took quite a while to get the smell out again. And it also took a few hours until you could walk on that stuff again. Oh, and then we put in the underfloor heating. So all these circles here, this is all pipes for the underfloor heating, and they are really heavy and they're really hard to bend, and you have to make all these bends. And I think was the most exhausting job we have done. Like we were completely collapsed. This is like the first circuit we did, and there are five circuits in total. And after the first one, we all collapsed and had to be revived with a cup of tea. So that was pretty tough. Yes, and then more work was done outside. They put in these nice stones, the stonework. It is mandatory in this area that you have this kind of stone on your wall, on your outside wall. This is a council regulation you have to follow. So every house has to have these stones. And this is also done by a professional stonemason, because it's kind of difficult to put them all together in a nice way because they all have different shapes. Oh, and here this is when the screed floor was put in. So that is the floor you can still see downstairs in some parts that haven't been covered up yet. And when that was done, it took, I think, 5 days until you could walk on it again. So we got a 5-day break from our building, which was really good. And that was done in early September. So everything you see that has been done downstairs was done since the 1st or 5th or something of September, first week of September. So I Vimala putting in the extractor fan for the stove, for the gas stove. This pipe here is the extractor fan going to the outside. And then we start wallpapering. And a volunteer came and helped us with the tiling of the bathroom here. So it's a bit difficult to see because the sun came out. We looked at the weather forecast and we thought it was going to snow this afternoon. So we thought it would be dark enough in the room that we could actually see those pictures, but now the sun is here and it's a bit difficult to see. But this is the toilet and people putting in the tiles there. And then Danny's starting to put up flowers outside. And then the entrance is being finished here. We have this nice slope. And this entire wall on here and on the wall on the other side, that was all done by volunteers actually. That was all done by Danny. So, and then we started to build this platform in the garden because our plan is that we build small huts for the monastics in the garden So in the long term, the monastics are not supposed to live here in the house. They're going to live in small huts, what we call kutis, in the garden. And then when that is finished, then this house will be for visitors, so that people. So this is the foundation for the one, or the platform for the one kuti that we are allowed to build without a building permit. And now you can see the platform downstairs, down there, but the hut isn't there yet. We hope that it will arrive next week. And we also got another building permit for 2 more kutis that we're going to build on that side. And then we would have space for 3 people to live there. And then we would, in this house here, we have 2 rooms, 2 guest rooms, which are at the moment taken up by the monastics, because we don't have another space to stay. But that eventually that will be a space for people to come and visit the monastery in the long term. So this is the plan for our 2 kutis. It has to be a double kuti because the building regulations don't allow 2 separate buildings. So it's like 2 rooms next to each other with a gap in between and 1 roof on the top, because it has to be 1 roof. And in that gap in between, eventually maybe we can build a bathroom if we want to. And the style will be quite similar to the main house, and you see here this in the back is actually the corner of the main house. This is our future project. And 3 weeks ago we got the building permit, so we were very lucky and also very happy because the first time our building permit was declined, and then we were scared that we wouldn't be allowed to build any kutis at all. But now we got it. So we're still fundraising for that. We have the building permit, but we don't have the funds to actually build the house or to build those kutis. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. So this is basically where we are at now. There's still some things to finish here in the house, as you've seen downstairs. The kitchen isn't ready yet, the bathroom isn't ready yet, and some floors, some ceilings, and some walls to paint. But yeah, we hope that maybe by the end of the year, most of the things should be finished, hopefully. So this is what happened here the last year. And sadhu to all the volunteers who contributed their time. Many people came and helped. And sadhu to all the people who sent their good wishes, and also the people who contributed financially. This building wouldn't have been possible if not a lot of people, came together and helped this place. Our main donor, he actually sold his own house, so he's homeless now because he wanted to build this building, or help the nuns to build this building. So that was quite an amazing act of generosity, and lots of other people also came and helped us and supported this project. So this is really a community effort, and I think it's just amazing how many people have, just come together and helped to create this place.